Good day, students. Today we'll be looking at electric charges. Electric charges. But before we look at what electric charges are, let's quickly look at a review of the atomic structure. The review of the atomic structure. Now, an atom, of course, we know is the smallest indivisible particle or part of a what? Of a matter or a substance that can take charge in a what? In a chemical reaction. That is an atom. And we know that in an atom, there are three particles. There are three particles or composition of the what? The atom. We have the what? The protons, the electrons, and the neutrons. And of course, we know that the protons and the neutrons are binded together in the nucleus of the atom, which is the center of the atom. So the two of them are binded there together, and the electrons, which are negatively charged, are revolving around the what? The nucleus of the what? Of the atom in orbit or in their shells. And just like I said, we know that electrons are what? Are negatively charged. The protons are positively charged, while the neutrons have no charge or they are neutral. All right, so these are what we need to know about the what? The atomic structure. All right, so the next we'll be looking at is what are these electric charges? Electric charges, or we also call it electrostatic, is a type of electricity that what? Deals with what? The charges or electricity of bodies that are what? At rest. It deals with the what? The charges in substances that what? Are not actually moving from one point to another in the substance in which it is what? Being produced. So what we are trying to say is that in electrostatics or in electric charges, bodies or substances are what? Are charged. But these charges do not actually flow from one point to another. They are only what? Charged in the what? In the substance. And we can actually feel the effect that such substances are what? Are actually charged. But one thing you need to know is that what? These charges do not move from one point to another. That is why it is electrostatic. By static, we mean what? It is what? Stagnant. It does not move. All right, so that is what we mean by the what? The electric charges. Now, the next thing we shall be looking at, let's look at how are these charges what produced. We are going to look at some simple experiments that we are going to produce these what? These charges. Are we together? So through this simple experiment, we can be able to see that what? Truly there are bodies that are what? That are charged. And when they are charged, they tend to what? To attract other what? Substances. Now, the first experiment, I know some of these we might have been doing them ignorantly, but we don't actually know that they are actually what? Charged. Now, the first one is when you have your normal biro that's made of plastic, just like what I'm having here. Now, when you rub this biro vigorously on your hair for a longer period of time, and then when you bring it closer to a small piece of paper, you tend to notice that the biro will tend to what? To attract the small piece of paper, even without even coming in contact with it. Now, just watch what I'm about to do. All right, now this is the paper. Remember, we said it's a small piece of paper. And then this is a biro. So I'm going to rub it on my hair for a very long period of time, vigorously. And after that, you bring it closer to the paper. And did you see that? It was able to what? To attract the small piece of paper. Now, similarly, when you have a plastic what? Roller, this is a meter rule that is made of plastic, of course. Repeat the same procedure. Rub it on your hair vigorously for a period of time. And then you bring it closer to a small piece of paper. All the air around is affecting it. When you rub it vigorously and bring it to a small piece of paper, Yes, it tends to what? To attract the small piece of paper. So what does this simple experiment actually tells us? It means that through the process of the rubbing of either the biro or the plastic metal roll on the hair, the biro was able, or the metal roll was able to acquire some charges. Are we together? It was able to acquire some charges, and when it was brought closer to a small piece of paper, even without touching it, it was able to what? To attract the small piece of paper, telling you that what? The both bodies, that is the metal rule and the small piece of paper, are said to what? To have some amount of electric charges in them, or we say that they are said to be electrified. Are we together? So meaning that both the metal roll and the paper, or both the biro and the small piece of paper, are said to what? To be electrified. Meaning that what? They have some amount of charges in them. Is that taken? All right. So similarly, when you have your normal comb for the ladies, now when you comb your hair for a very long period of time, you notice that what? There is a kind of attraction between the what? The comb and your what? And your hair. And in some cases, if it is in a dark room, you notice some little what? Sparks that will be coming out from the what? The hair. And sometimes you what? You feel it. All these are what? Are simple ways of what? Of producing what? Electric charges in nature. All right, so this is what we need to know about the what? The electric charges or electrostatics. Now, the next thing we are going to be looking at